T-minus 7 minutes, 30 seconds, and counting. And the orbiter access arm is being retracted away from the vehicle. This is the walkway used by the crew to gain entry into and out of the vehicle, and it can be returned to position within seconds if necessary. And the gaseous oxygen vent hood is slowly being retracted away from the top of the external tank. Everything looks good, and we are cleared for launch today. No problems are being reported by the launch team or by Endeavour's crew.
Flight crew, OTC, close and lock your visors. Initiate OT flow.
T-minus 2 minutes and counting. Everything is still looking good for launch of Shuttle Endeavour from Kennedy Space Center. And we are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Endeavour is now running off of its 3 onboard fuel cells. 10, 9, 8, we have a go for main engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, extending the reach of the space station while extending partnerships above the Earth.
Houston, Endeavour, roll program.
Roger, roll, Endeavour.
Houston's now controlling. Endeavour's rolling on course toward the International Space Station. The shuttle already traveling more than 200 miles per hour. Speed now about 500 miles per hour. 3 engines on board the spacecraft are throttling down to 2/3 throttle to prepare the shuttle to pass through the area of maximum air pressure and go supersonic. Three engines now throttling back up to full throttle. Altitude 6 miles. Speed 900 miles an hour.
Go ahead, throttle up.
Roger, Houston, go ahead, throttle up.
Endeavour 5 miles east of the launch pad. Endeavour speed now 1,500 miles per hour. About 1 minute to 25 seconds since launch, the shuttle's already consumed more than 2 million pounds of propellant, weighing less than half of what it did at launch. Solid rocket booster separation for Endeavour. 31 miles in altitude now, 38 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center, speed 3,700 miles per hour. Endeavour's orbital maneuvering system engines are firing now, that as an assist to the main engines to continue to accelerate the shuttle.
Endeavour, Houston, 2-engine Marone.
Copy, Houston, 2-engine Marone.
Those 2 ohms engines will fire for about 1 minute and 40 seconds as that assist burn takes place. That call also indicating that Endeavour could reach an abort landing at Marone, Spain if that were required. All 3 engines on the shuttle operating well, all systems on board in good shape. Three minutes since liftoff now. Endeavour's altitude 55 miles, 115 miles northeast of the launch pad. Speed now 5,000 miles per hour.
Endeavour Houston, negative return.
Roger, negative return.
Speed now 14,900 miles per hour, altitude 63 miles, 710 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center. About 20 seconds to cut off of the main engine. Endeavour speed now 16,500 miles per hour, 800 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center. The guidance and control officer confirms main engine cutoff for Endeavour right on time. And a separation of the external fuel tank from Endeavour.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO, ohms 1 not required. Welcome to space.
Hey, Houston, thank you for that. Plus X complete.
This is Mission Control, Houston Endeavour, traveling at 17,600 miles per hour now after a flawless ascent to orbit. 10.5 minutes since liftoff. Endeavour's currently on a trajectory that would have it in an orbit with a high point of about 197 miles and a low point of only about 50 miles if it were to continue at this trajectory. But the shuttle will continue to coast out toward the high point of its current orbit, that about 197 miles high, at which point it will fire its small orbital maneuvering system engines, those engines located on either side of the tail of the shuttle, to circularize its orbit toward a rendezvous with the International Space Station. That rendezvous set to occur on Saturday.
7 days, 8 hours. I didn't get one for 7 days, 9 hours, but I did for 7 days, 10 hours, and there's a little bit of a discrepancy in the activity, so let me just voice down what I think you want me to do. Basically, you want me to photograph holders Alpha, Charlie, Delta, and Bravo in that order, and do the digital first and the 35 millimeter second.
We'd like the rotary switch to forward control and verify.
Well, I'm working on the aft dead cone camera on TVC-1. That's on our payload 2 push button right now. And I've got no control over Zoom. Okay, looking at sample 3 now, starting to photograph that, and there are lots of crystals in that sample.
No response required, but we're looking for the APU steam vent heater actions indicated at 1450 on your revised flight plan.
We're ready for the fill pattern for ESC.
As I drive the Y Mike SPL down to 143, seem to be picking up rotation. With that. Okay, thank you. Hey, the Silver team did a super job today. We certainly appreciate all the effort. We put the cabin air cleaner up about an hour ago and got some air rushing in that corner of the cabin. And since then, the temperature has dropped over there in that region. It was pretty warm in that area by the aft lockers. And the temperature on the C-rim's gone from 8.5 degrees to about 7.5 degrees.
Roger on the 7.
Space Shuttle Constructs, Endeavour, saying about it, we must. Technical relay motors. Nice in the station now. Ring your microscope, it's the window to you. Technical relay motors. Nice in the station now.
On panel C3, we would like the DFI recorder's PCM to continuous record.
Okay, I've got O2, tank 4, tank 5, H2, tank 4/5 Alpha, and 4/5 Bravo, all 4 switches on.
Okay. On that pass, we were able to see all the way up the East Coast, and in particular, I was able to locate the Connecticut area. I wanted to make sure that my daughter Sarah knew that we were looking down and that she's got to quit watching television and start studying for her exams.
Ring your microscope, it's the window to you. That way we're going to be down here, TAC Life, good name.